For today's video, I wanted to show you how I make my version of the Cafe Rio pulled pork salad. It's my favorite thing to get at Cafe Rio. I made it entirely from scratch at home with only a few changes. I don't like my pork quite as sweet as they serve it at Cafe Rio, so I added less sugar. I made my tomatillo ranch dressing a little bit spicier. You'll see in the video. So let's go make it. Starting with our tomatillo ranch dressing, I normally make this with buttermilk, but I didn't have that, so I used some sour cream and a little bit of mayonnaise. And here are the tomatillos that are quartered, some garlic, and a bunch of jalapenos. I left the seeds and the pith in, and some cilantro. We got some fresh lime zest and juice, some black pepper, and then I poured in a little bit of regular milk to try to compensate for the lack of buttermilk. And here I'm adding some ranch dip mix. This is super easy. I'm sure you could make your own, but this is the easy shortcut version. Then I blend it all up. And this is the consistency. Then I just pour that into a container and put it in the fridge until we're ready to serve. Next, I'm going to make the pork. So I get out my Instant Pot and I poured in my pork shoulder that I had cut up. I put some black pepper in there along with some that was chili powder, and then thyme, and then cumin, and then some of this Lawry's seasoned salt, some El Paso hot tomato sauce, and Dr. Pepper. And there's some garlic. I mixed that all up, and then I sealed it and set the pressure to high for 1 hour. And when that was done, the pork was falling apart, really easy to shred at this point. And to that, I added a can of these diced green chilies and a little bit of brown sugar. The original recipe, if you can find it online, all the versions have a lot more sugar than this, but this is just right for me. I transferred the meat into my slow cooker just to keep warm while I was making everything else. So there was a little bit of that leftover broth in there, and I poured my beans in here into the Instant Pot. These are just dried pinto beans. I also added a diced onion, some garlic again, and some coriander, and some bay leaves, and just a little bit more stock to cover the beans. Again, put my lid on, sealed that up, and I pressure cooked this on high for 25 minutes. So while the beans were cooking and my meat was being kept warm in the slow cooker, I'm making my fresh tortillas. I can leave a link for the recipe to these in the description box. And here's what the beans looked like when they were done. I was also, meanwhile, making some rice on the side, just some cilantro lime rice. And then here's how I plate it up. I take some of my fresh tortillas and put them in the bowl, in a shallow bowl. I put down my cilantro lime rice, a scoopful of the beans, and then a scoop of the pork, a bunch of shredded romaine lettuce, some avocado, some cotija cheese, and some cilantro. I crumbled up some tortilla chips on top because they have those tortilla strips, and then just put my dressing on there. And this is really similar to Cafe Rio, and I like it better because I can customize it to my taste. So the pork isn't as sweet and the dressing is a little bit more spicy, and everything tastes just that much more fresh. This recipe also made a lot of leftovers of the pork, so we were able to have these a few nights during the week. I'd say it was a success. Thank you so much for watching.